I wrote roll tape, Smitty.
Good morning, Tom. How diddly doodly.
Hey, good morning, Brett. I'm really good. How about yourself?
I am super fantastic. Despite all obstacles, I remain super fantastic.
Yeah, because that's a frame of mind. You choose to be that way.
Absolutely. You
Yeah,
and I have framed this in our lives that, things happen. We
yeah,
talk about the definition of a happy life is not the absence of adversity. All have adversity. We all have stress in our lives. To expect it not to happen is just foolish. It's,
yeah.
you're setting yourself up for failure. The
Mhm.
definition of a happy life is being resilient enough to manage the stress and adversity that comes at you. We say this time and time again, right?
Yeah,
And right, there was a lot of adversity this week, both in the world, in our country, in our state, in our town, in our houses. And you know
right,
what? Despite all adversity, I'm still going to remain super fantastic. That's
right.
what I choose to do.
So much adversity, and you know what? We try to steer away from the using profanity, but I mean, fuck it. This is a real deal. I mean, I love the term. A client came up with this term to describe something that is not good. It was essentially what her partner was doing, which was talking to other girls online, and called it or coined it "fuck shit." And
Yeah.
and I've used that to describe just shit that's out of our control, that's just chaotic and stupid and just theater of the absurd, where you're just
Mhm.
like, what's up with all this fuck shit going on? And
Mhm.
there's nothing we can do about it. I try to not watch the news and stay away, but we hear it. I mean, we hear it
Yeah.
in TikTok snippets. We hear it from others. We hear it from clients, who are having challenges with whatever's going on, and we feel it. And so there's been a lot of not good things happening that we've been privy to, and we've got to kind of deal with that and try to remain vigilant, resilient, and
Mhm.
to your comment, super fantastic.
Super fantastic. Despite all odds, I'm super fantastic. And you know, we talk about that. It's just a choice, right? I could go down the paths of news and everything else and, end up in a place that's deep and dark and awful, but I choose
Mhm.
to, I remain aware of what's happening. Not only, we're talking about news and whatever, but so many people are sick right now. And I mean, I've been hearing about the super flu, but nobody I knew, everyone had that like adenovirus, the cold
Mhm.
on, that super cold or whatever.
Right.
But nobody I knew had the flu until a couple days ago.
Mhm.
And now in my circle, the flu is going around. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I've been hibernating in my house. Luckily, I work from home and I don't have to leave. I went to the grocery store once this week. We needed some stuff, and I pushing my cart down an aisle, and someone's down there hacking on the hot sauce. And I turned that cart around and said, "Yep, we're eating plain chicken this week. I ain't no way.
I guess I don't need that.
I don't need that." Yeah,
You're just waiting for them to move, and then right before they move, they go,
yeah, oh yeah. I'm out of here. So
that
I'm not
sounded
sure.
chunky.
I'm not sure what I bought at the grocery store this week, but it was all the deserted aisles where there was nobody and nobody coughing and hacking. So we'll have some interesting smorgasbord
What
food
did you
this
get
week.
for
But
this week? Bakery.
yeah, I got uh I got some sardines and I got some, hummus and
Cupcakes.
yeah. Right. So I don't know. There's food. Eat what you can find. So well,
Yeah.
and then I was like, so then I'm like in the middle of the store, like freaking out, like I just hear, how your senses go on high alert. So like I'm at the end of the aisle, and I'm just like every like sound I hear of like somebody clearing their throat or sneezing or coughing, it's just like
Yeah.
I'm identifying them. And then I remembered my hurricane supplies. So we live in Florida. You have to got to stock up on some hurricane supplies, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have some water and, some mini ravs, some
Right,
things
right.
that when the grid goes down and you gotta, have some food that you can eat that's
Yeah.
durable and shelf has stable shelf life.
Some
Uh,
Chef Boyardee and Lenny and
yeah,
Larry's protein cookies.
exactly. So I had me some beefaroni for dinner last night, and I was all right. I was okay with that. But I was fancy, and I actually heated it up, and I didn't eat it out of the can, so I felt fancy.
With a fork or a spoon.
That's the age-old debate. We can't go down that road, Tom. We'll end up in a fisticuffs.
Right. Do you want to scoop the tomatoey sauce or do you want
All
to
right.
skewer the chunks of meatballs or whatever?
Yeah.
Um,
So, it's hard to meander through this world with, the different stressors that go on within the world, within your life, everyone's trying to get your cash. Everyone's, you know, they, of course, it's the beginning of the year, and so they readjusted your escrow on your mortgage, and it's like, oh
yep.
yeah, well, you know what?
Yep.
I've been giving you a $500 million up, a month up and down. So we're just going to add a couple $100 to that. No big
Right.
deal.
Same thing with health insurance.
Wowzer, health insurance. Yeah, luckily I have an employee sponsored, and we're a mid year, so we don't renew till July 1st. But
I buy privately, and so does
oh,
my wife, separately, privately, and not sponsored from work at all. And mine jumped up like $300.
wow.
Like what?
I,
And then the physicians that was, general practitioners, they all went concierge.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're not taking insurance anymore because they don't reimburse us. Well, how are they not reimbursing us? Because I give them, you know,
Right.
$4,000 a month in premiums.
Sadly, a lot of people are deciding to go without
Yeah,
health insurance.
yeah,
They can't afford it.
yeah, yeah. And even you used to get catastrophic coverage. At least, when we're getting older, we can take that risk. But I mean, younger kids, and the kids in the 20 in their 20s and stuff, um, young people, I shouldn't call them kids, but young people can gamble. And we used to get those high deductible plans, right? Where, if you got hit by a car, and you would be covered, but otherwise you're healthy. You're not going to go to the
Yeah,
doctor
yeah.
and stuff.
Right.
So, but even those plans are, several $100s a month. You can't even get
Right.
a high deductible plan anymore for cheap.
Yep. Right. So it's sort of like, what can you do? We're not going to go without, I
Mhm.
mean, we're middle-aged, so we're not going to go without.
Don't worry, Tom. The government is here to help us. So you just sit down and relax, and the
We'll be all right.
government's the government's going to provide, right? They're going to all our tax dollars that are going in. That FICA guy that keeps taking my money every paycheck. He's going
What an
to help us.
asshole.
He's he's going to help us out. So just don't you worry. The government, they're here to help.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I'll stand by and just wait
I
and
keep
see what
standing
happens.
by. How long do I got to stand by? My legs are so tired from
Yeah.
standing by.
Are things going to turn around? We're waiting.
I know.
Happening.
It's
Okay.
And what is it about us? We keep holding out hope that, things will change. I mean, we've been done this for 20 years. It doesn't matter about the political party in power right now. And that's not what I'm talking about. But as you get older, we keep waiting for like things to improve. And I don't see many improvements, if any at all. Everything
Right.
continues to go up. Everything.
I'll still hold hope. I have
Of
to.
course. Of course,
I
Tom.
have
That's
to.
what we do.
Is it reality based in reality? No, but I'll always hold hope. And I do
Right.
that for my clients too. And I tell them, I'm gonna hold it for you. I'll keep it in this
Mhm.
drawer over here in my dresser if you want.
Right. Of
I'll hold a little bit in my pocket and sprinkle it whenever we need to, but I'll still hold hope that things can be better and will be better.
course.
Uh,
That's what we do. Tom and you and I have discussed everything is just a minor inconvenience.
yeah. On top of the fuck shit that's happening on the outside, what about the fuck shit that happens within your own mind? That internal, critic, that nasty voice, the bitch voice, whatever you want to call it, that creeps in from time to time. We have to be able to manage that. And that is within our control. So we talk about when things are out of our control and how we, perseverate over those things. We worry, we complain about this, that, and the other thing, but it's all outside of us
Hmm.
having any influence or anything to do with it. We have to come back to, well, what is within our control? And one of those things is managing that internal dialogue and especially the negative tapes that are running for you. I had an experience this week where I've been learning guitar just over 2 months in, and I really have been enjoying it. I've really fallen in love with it. I've been loving the journey, and I see the progress happening. It's slow, but I see it. And it's motivating me, and we hate that word motivation, but for now, I've just been disciplined about doing it. But I do get that motivation that comes with, like, hey,
Hmm.
I learned this song lick. Hey, the chords sound a little bit cleaner and more crisp. And, I can I know where these notes are and I can hit them every time without looking. I can throw a strap on. Well, this went south quick. I can throw the guitar strap over my shoulders and stand up. And those of you who don't know, who don't play guitar, when you throw the strap over your shoulder and hold the guitar, you can't see, right? What your fingers are doing. So you have to go by like feel. And I was like, that was surreal. I thought because when I'm sitting there, I can look at the fretboard and look at my fingers and look at this hand picking and doing whatever. But then when you stand up with it, you're like, hey, I can't see a fucking thing, man. I can see little dots where the that's the third fret and that's the fifth fret and seventh and but I can't see. So I've been trying to practice like without being able to see with my eyes what things are doing, and that's coming along. However, my guitar teacher pushed me a little bit this week and sped things up, and I had to move things faster, move to chords faster, hit the notes faster, and I was humbled, man. And I had that brief moment, did not last more than a minute or two where
Hmm.
that inner critic voice came out and said, "What are you doing, man? Like you're starting this too late. You're not going to be able to get this. You suck." All those nasty things. We all have that voice. And I squashed it, I turned the volume down on it and I purged it because I know how to do this. I mean, we teach people how to do this, but I still have that. That voice came in there. I didn't like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a really great example. I mean, that's that inner dialogue. And we write that. And we are the only persons that can edit it and rewrite that. And everybody has that. It's that inner critic. It's that you're not good enough. God, you're an idiot. I can't believe you said that. Look at what you did.
Right.
Geez, it's a wonder you have any friends at all. I can't believe,
Yeah.
you
Who do
know,
you think you are?
right? Yeah. Dang, it's that own inner critic. And but again, you are the inner critic. So it's not some superfluous outside person. It's you.
Right. Yeah.
So you rewrite that stuff.
Yeah.
You're in charge of it.
What helped me in that predicament, and this might be able to help you, is I looked at it. I said, you know what, Tom, this is your journey. Just enjoy the ride. Doesn't matter if you become this virtuoso or if you have this natural talent or you're going to be the best of like doesn't matter. It's your journey. Don't compare
Hmm.
yourself to anybody else. Doesn't matter what, Billy Bob's doing or how Sarah did it or, the fact that they were able to play Led Zeppelin after 3 months. Like that doesn't matter. Like you're you.
Hmm.
You just enjoy your own journey.
Hmm.
And as long
Absolutely.
as you're seeing progress in that, even if it's just the sliver, take that, run with it, keep going. Don't stop.
Right. Hmm. And people that, time, I'm going to say this tongue in cheek. You and I have been doing this a long time, and we're really kind of put together, right? We don't have a lot of
Yeah.
anxieties and all that stuff. We've kind of, not that we don't. We certainly have our moments, of course, like everybody. but this is what we do. So we're hyper aware of this stuff, and we nip this stuff in the bud before it gets to
Right.
be problematic and those kinds of things. But
Pretty well adjusted.
pretty well adjusted, right? We all have our moments, but we're pretty well adjusted. But we work with people that are significantly not adjusted,
Hmm.
that are coming to us for a reason. And one of the tricks that I teach them is about their inner critic. Is I have them write on a piece of paper or type in their notes section or whatever, what is that 30-second elevator speech that you're telling yourself, right? You have that 30-second elevator speech that you talk like when you meet somebody new. Hi, my name's Brad. I'm blah 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 blah, whatever.
Hmm.
And then you have that internal 30-second elevator speech where it's like what you're telling yourself about yourself, and it's very different than your external.
Hmm.
But you are the author of that. So I have my folks rewrite that internal, and I have them write it on a piece of paper, ideally. And then I have them write it several times, rewrite it. And then I have them tape it to their bathroom mirror, and I have it in their note section, and I have them have their
Hmm.
alarms go off, a couple
Yeah.
times a day where the alarm goes off. Hey, read your internal dialogue until you start believing that.
Right.
You are the author of that, so rewrite it.
Right. So, what is your internal dialogue saying right now? And then
Mm-hmm.
what do you want it to say? Is that different? You out there might actually be letting that advocate voice come out and flourish. And that's great. That's what we want, right? That's what we are encouraging. We both have, you and I both have those inner voices. And you out there, dear listeners, as human beings, you have both of those voices. We need to turn the volume up on the one and turn the volume down, squelch the other one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And one of the ways in which you can do that is to rewrite your internal speech. What do you want
Mm-hmm.
it to be?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be a pompous, conceited type of thing. Just some positive words, some positive affirmations for yourself
Mm-hmm.
that you aspire to be. And,
Mm-hmm.
it could even be
My I,
I'm a healthy athlete, smart, whatever. Even if you don't
right,
believe that, like over time, if you tell
yeah,
yourself that enough, it starts to sink in. You keep giving yourself those suggestions.
all right. Instead of that, man, you look in the mirror, man, you're old, fat, and ugly. You could be
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm seasoned and have lots of experience, and borrowing words from the old Jimmy Buffett song, wrinkles only come from where the smiles have been.
Right.
You've
Yeah.
had lots of smiles in your life.
Yes. Right. Mhm.
So reframing some of that stuff. And I'm a kind person, and I do kind things in the world, and I try to help people. And generally people like me. Not everybody likes me, and that's okay. I'm not
Yeah.
everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
I'm not chubby. I'm comfortable. I'm
right,
comfy.
I when the apocalypse happens, I will survive a few extra days more than those thin people.
Love the reframes.
I'm just carrying my hurricane supplies on my body instead of in my
Absolutely.
pantry.
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking ready to go at a moment's notice, right?
Hmm.
Right.
See? Yeah. What was the comedian? I'm not fat. I'm fluffy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I've been really enjoying the comedian that you sent.
Oh, isn't she hysterical?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what do you do?
And what do
And then
you
every
do?
time someone's like, "Oh, I'm a psychotherapist." Ew.
Yeah. It's good. It's good fun, and it's not like there's a bunch of foul, or political stuff. It's
Right.
just like good fun.
Yeah. Yeah. How unusual, right?
Yeah.
All of us that grew up on Red Fox and Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy
Yeah, yeah.
and
Mhm.
George Carlin, the seven words you can't say.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Which
So,
which we enjoyed, but that definitely pushed the envelope. I mean, they
oh yeah,
they
at the
definitely had a
time for
voice and
sure.
they were speaking out. So
Uh-huh. Yeah,
hard to be that way now. And we need some lightness. And that woman offers some lightness. It's good.
yeah.
So what are some other
So,
ways to squelch that inner critic voice
all
that you
right.
use?
Well, I mean, what happens when you have people in your life and you don't like the things coming out of their mouth? What do?
Right. Hmm.
Right? Ignore them, reframe them, stop listening to them, you know, turn your ears inward. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's kind of the same strategies. You have someone
Yeah.
in your life that's negative, that's putting you down. So what do? Do you just sit there or do you reframe that? Well, thanks for your opinion, but that's not how I see things, right? Something like
Well,
that.
I mean, we know that they're focusing on us because that takes away the focus on them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, if I can tear you down, then I can feel better about myself, right?
Exactly.
Because at
Yeah.
least I'm not whatever. Well, you can do the same thing with your inner dialogue. Debate that thing. Why do you say that? Why do you just automatically believe what your inner voice is telling you?
Yeah.
Challenge it. Is that really true? Are you fat, ugly, and bald, and hideous, and people will scream in the streets when you go outside? Is that really true? Is that really true?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can find evidence, and I know your mind works the same way, where those negative thoughts, you can probably skew the evidence a bit to make it fit, right? Like you can
Sure.
prove to yourself that you are those negative things, and a lot of you out there can do that. But simultaneously, you can do that for the positives.
Hmm.
If you have the
So,
knack and the ability to find evidence supporting the negative ones, I
mhm.
bet you have the ability. It might be a challenge, but you can definitely find evidence supporting the fact that you are smart, you are really good, you are a great person, you are successful, you are loved, you are supported. We're just overlooking those things.
Well, and that's how your brain works. I'm glad you brought that up because we all make these hypotheses about ourselves, right? Your whole world is kind of creating a scenario, right? So when you believe, I'm old, fat, ugly, and people don't like me, then if that's what your internal dialogue is, then your brain is going to search out evidence to support that,
Yeah.
right? They are trying to prove that hypothesis.
Mhm.
Thusly, or in turn, if you believe, I'm happy, I'm smart, and people like me, your brain is going to search out evidence to support that as well.
Right.
So your brain, and that's subconsciously, right? So when you lead with the positive and, you rewrite that dialogue, your brain will unconsciously search for proof for that. And that's why you
Right.
feel better.
Yep. Now, of course, we talk about confirmation bias and how our brains seek to only focus on the evidence that's supporting
Mm-hmm.
what our hypothesis is. And we fail to look at the opposite side, the opposing side.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to get good with doing that. And you can look at both sides, that's okay. But the negative one, if that happens to come up, hey, I'm fat. Okay, right. That's a negative one. Is there evidence to support that? Well, I guess you have to compare it to, well, the average of people that are my height and my
Mm-hmm.
age are, should be this weight. And, I know these are all kind of numbers that
Mm-hmm.
just like came out of the air, right? I know there was some science behind it maybe like 75 years ago, but it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean it holds up. But okay, that's the comparison, and you look at the people around you, people who are similar ages and heights and whatnot, and you look at their weight and their physique and their, all that. And then you can make a determination and find evidence supporting, well, okay, I'm probably above average on carrying extra weight around. Okay, so there's some evidence supporting that, but instead of focusing on that, let's flip that around and be like, okay, you know what? Maybe that is true that I'm carrying a little bit of extra weight, that maybe I'm not as healthy as I could be. So here's what I'm going to do about it and come
Mm-hmm.
up with a plan, goals for which to achieve. I'm gonna, engage in a little bit more cardiovascular work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna burn some more calories. I'm gonna tighten up the diet and make a little bit. I'm gonna make some better decisions regarding that. I have agency with which to work on that thing. So instead of just saying, "Well, I'm a fat kid," and then that's just what it is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, do
Right?
something about that. So if there's something that's negative that's coming up where your brain is finding the evidence supporting that, then what are you going to do to change that? There's some
Hmm.
things that we just can't change, for balding, right? Like, what can you do? You can wear a hat, right?
Right?
You can get a wig, you can shave it and just roll with that because that's a great look too, and you just lean into it. You can get a wicked cool tattoo on there.
There we go.
Right. You have options. What are you gonna do about it? Okay, so what?
So, I mean, you're in charge of your internal dialogue. Rewrite that stuff and rewrite it to the positive because your brain subconsciously will seek out evidence to support that.
Yeah,
If you're living in that negative realm, then your brain is going to search for evidence for that as well. So, what
yeah.
would you rather do?
My other technique to work on turning the volume down on that voice is to consider myself to be um, somebody who is influential, a role model to the people around me. That might simply just be coworkers, clients, spouse, friends, um, neighbors. And if I'm a role model, and this goes really, the thing that resonates with me is that quote from Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world.
Hmm.
If people are looking up to me, or I'm assuming that people are looking up to me, not in the conceited, admiring, like narcissistic way, but I'm influential. People are seeing what I'm doing, and if they see me out there working hard, exercising, they see me making really good choices regarding eating. They see me practicing guitar and getting better at that, like engaging in a hobby and seeing how fruitful that has become. Like then that may actually inspire people to do good things for themselves. And that's what I really like. So I think, hey, there's cameras on me, right? And actually there are, right? Like there's cameras everywhere. But like people are watching, what kind of message do I want to send to the world? Because that's going to have an impact on the world tomorrow and next week and next year. And what do I want to promote?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, that's resonated with me for a long,
Hmm.
long time. And,
Hmm.
and that gives me impetus to do good things for others and for myself.
Right.
Not always perfect, but
Well, the definition of character are the things that you do when nobody's looking.
yeah, right.
Love those quotes.
Yeah. It's so easy if everybody around you, if they're assholes, to be an asshole yourself. It's justified. It makes sense, right? But I don't want to feed into that.
Right.
I don't want to promote
Exactly.
that. I want to be the shining light through the darkness, through the bullshit, through the fuck shit. Right?
Is there any of that going on right now, Tom? I haven't noticed.
A bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it was a tough week.
Mhm. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Yeah.
What was that from?
So yeah, so you talk about New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution is I'm not going to watch the news anymore. I just don't want
Yeah.
to. I'll just be happily oblivious.
Uh-huh. Very good. But you're gonna hear it. Yeah. Major League,
I'll,
that's what it's from.
I'm just gonna
Just a bit outside.
just a bit outside. I'm gonna pretend like they're talking about some new show on TV that's some dystopian show. So,
Yeah.
oh, did you hear what happened?
Is
Oh,
that the new Hunger Games?
it
Right.
must be on that show they're watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
Tom, always good to see you.
Same. A treat. We hope you guys enjoy. If you have comments, questions, things you'd like for us to answer, or things you'd like for us to talk about here on the show,
Mhm.
please send them in to questions at therapyunzipped.com. We would love to engage with you out there, and we hope that you're enjoying this new year.
And go check out Tom playing guitar riffs on TikTok. You can see his improvement every week. It's fantastic to watch. And
Right.
Friday morning is a wonderful show where he does a lip sync with his broom guitar every Friday morning on TikTok. So go check that out.
Go check that out, man. Yeah, it was good. Did you see today's?
I did. Great Friday morning jam. I saw
Ah,
that. It was Black Betty, Bam Lamb.
yeah.
Ooh, Black Betty.
Bam a lamb.
Yeah,
Good
great.
stuff, man. Well, thank you, Brett.
All right, Tom. Have a darn diddly doodly day.
Let's remain super fantastic.
Absolutely. Things are just a minor inconvenience.
Yep. See you next week.
All righty.